Well, the Osbournes join me now. Well, most of them, because my old friend Sharon, of course, is still in makeup, which is the least surprising news of the millennium. But the three legends in front of me are there on time. The great Ozzy Osbourne, the great Jack Osbourne, the great Kelly Osbourne. Welcome to Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Can you believe I was the last one up? I'm still waiting for Sharon.
Yeah, I mean,
Jack was the last one to get up this morning.
Can I just say that having waited...
It takes forever to get ready, you know that, Piers.
Well, Ozzy, having spent 4 years working with your wife on America's Got Talent, I'm very familiar with waiting for Sharon.
I don't think she'd be early in her life.
Well, you have, and let's start with you, Ozzy, because I'm thrilled to have you on the show. We called this show Piers Morgan Uncensored, and when we named it that, I did actually think what would happen when we finally get Ozzy Osbourne live on the show. How committed to being uncensored could we be? So I need to get from you, Ozzy, a solemn promise that you're not going to get me banned from the airwaves.
Are you promising you're not going to get him banned from the airwaves?
Oh, no. I'll get you back. I won't get you banned.
Just fined. Just a good old fining.
We're going to get through a whole lot of stuff in the show tonight. But, Ozzy, let me start with you. How are you? You've been through all this health hell.
I finally had my last procedure 2 days ago. I can't believe I've come to the end of it. I'm still back up. The main thing is over now. I'm done with the surgery, but it's been 5 years of absolute hell for me and the family. My family have been so supportive to me, you know. I couldn't have done it without them. It's been really a bad scene. I have Parkinson's, but I never think about it.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest misconception. Is like so many people think, you know, what's happened with Dad over the last 5 years is a result of like Parkinson's, but it was the neck injury and the fall that he took in 19. So
right. Well, actually, I was going to talk about this because, in fact, it goes back even further, doesn't it? We'll come to the Parkinson's in a moment, Ozzy. But if you go back, it actually goes back to when you had that horrendous quad bike crash in 2003.
Quad bike. Yeah. Well, I just got up and carried on, but I had a broken something in my neck.
Yeah.
And I carried on working with it until I had that fall. And then everything came undone, you know.
And then you get Parkinson's. And the state of the Parkinson's, I was listening to your podcast. Oh, blimey, got some tech issues there. But the condition of your Parkinson's right now, Ozzy, from what you were saying in the podcast, is that as long as you take the medication, it's pretty tolerable.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got Parkinson's, the main one. I got P2 or something, which is a genetic thing. I don't know. It's look, I don't get up in the morning and go, you know, I don't gripe on it. Just get on with it. If you're still moving, you ain't going to be dead.
I can't.
Yeah. I think am I detecting a rustling there to your right, Jack, that your mother might have joined us?
Yes,
Yeah, it is. Yeah, here we go.
Sorry, it's me. Sorry,
Well, thank you.
I'm late.
You know
Thank you for maintaining your reputation for always being late.
Give me a Kleenex, boo.
I know. Can't help it. I had to do the washing up.
So, Sharon, how are you?
Yes. I'm good, my darling. Missing you and missing England.
Yeah, well, we're going to come to that, actually, and whether you're going to come back here or not. But on Ozzy's health, it's great to see the great man looking so well, actually. But I know it's been a huge thing for you as a family that Ozzy's been through this horrible stuff with his back, the Parkinson's, obviously, as well. And as a result, he's not been able to do what he loves most, and that's touring and being a massive rock star. What's it been like for you, Sharon, as the matriarch of the family, to be through the last few years with Ozzy like this?
It's been, I mean, so many people can relate, who has a partner, whether it's the wife or the husband that's not well. It changes your whole life. You suddenly you're off in another direction and your life changes so drastically. It's it's really hard, especially in the summers, because every summer Ozzy works and goes out and do festivals, and we're traveling all over the world. And for the last 5 years, our life has changed, dramatically. But on the other hand, it's great that I've had Ozzy at home for 5 years. He's driving me crazy, but we've been together every day for 5 years.
Well, you know what's funny? I mean, what viewers probably won't know, but when I did America's Got Talent with you for all those years, we would quite often have dinner. And Kelly, I want to bring you in here because one of my favourite ever Osbourne stories involved you, which was a dinner, I think it was in Miami. And it was me, your mum and dad, you and your boyfriend at the time, Luke, I think it was. And anyway, you suddenly announced halfway through that you were effing bored and that you were both leaving. You then departed from the room, went out the back of the restaurant, and then you both dropped your trousers outside and moonied through the window at the three of us left behind, the boring old stooges. And all I could think was, that Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne are two of the most outrageous people I've ever met, and they've now been branded boring by their own flesh and blood. And the real outrageous one in this family is that the torch had moved to you, Kelly.
I do think that it didn't move to me. I grabbed it and ran with it, much to my own self-demise. But it was a boring dinner, so I left and made it more fun on my way out.
It was not a boring dinner. We were all being very entertaining, albeit not for you.
Oh, yeah, I remember that in Miami.
Yeah.
Weren't we at the Viceroy?
Yeah,
I can't remember,
think it was.
But it was a fabulous dinner until you two mooned us.
All I remember is your parents' shocked faces as you two moonied through the window. And I found that one of the funniest things I'd ever watched was the outrage from your parents at this behaviour.
Usually it's the other way around. Usually me and Jack who are outraged.
Kelly, you're looking
We're
great.
dying over the fact that our parents just said something. Thank you.
Yeah, how are you? How's your health? How's your life?
I'm really good. My life is amazing. I'm a new mother, and just every single day that I get to take care of my baby and be his mum is the greatest gift I've ever been given in my life.
And you looked at a long life of turbulence with your rock star father and decided that you too would have to get together with a rock star.
Well, when you think about it, it's all I know.
And there must be something about the life. I mean, I always wanted to be a rock star, obviously. I'm a frustrated rock star already. But there's probably a truth to that, isn't there? It's a world that you all know so well, right? So actually, whilst it may seem strange to other people on the outside to think, well, why would you get together with a rock star? To me, it was like, well, why wouldn't you? Because that's a world you know so well.
It's so true. And, you become like anything. You get your own little bubble, and you're surrounded by the people that you work with all the time.
Yeah.
So, it's very natural that would happen. It's the same as me. If I'd have married an accountant or a lawyer, that would have been like, well, where did I find you? Do you know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't seem right somehow.
And Jack, you're looking great. I know you've been clean a long time. You've had your health issues, multiple sclerosis, but you're looking extremely well. And you're taking part in various TV shows, which are sort of Iron Man stuff. So how are you? Are you doing well?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm hanging in there just fine. Like, it's, kind of similar to Dad. Like, as far as the MS goes, it's, I kind of, most days I wake up and I kind of forget that it is a part of my life at this point. So it's, I'm not slowing down at all, which is great.
You've also got 4 daughters. Now, the only other person I know with 4 daughters is my recently retired army brother, Jeremy. He's got 4 girls. So I'm very familiar with the particular endurance test that you may be going through, Jack.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of emotion in my household.
So much emotion.
But it must be great fun. I mean, I was slightly envy my brother. I've got 3 boys and a girl now. But when I see my brother with his girls, they are all doting on their dad. I mean, you are going to get very lucky with all these girls taking care of you, I think.
I think boys are great. They're fun, but they seem to break everything. And, you know, my girls just kind of want to hang out, have cuddles, and, like, do cute things. And I'm totally fine with that.
Now, Ozzy, you've been sitting there patiently listening to all this. The question I've got for you is, when you're now a grandfather to all these kids, do you change nappies? I mean, are you a reformed... I know you didn't when you were a dad, I don't think, but do you now?
No. No.
He runs for the hills.
No.
Not a single...
Listen, if Ozzy had to change a diaper, it would end up on the head or something. He wouldn't know what to do with it.
But do you like being a granddad, Ozzy?
I refuse to do. It's great. I love my grandchildren.
Do you think you're a better grandfather?
him.
Are you a better grandfather than you were father, Ozzy, do you think?
Not really. I try.
Am I asking the wrong person here? I can see the others laughing.
No, he is an incredible grandfather, and my little boy lights up every time.
I've got grandchildren in England. I don't see much, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got 5.
I've got five grandchildren in England.
You've got 10 grandkids.
Wow.